Alrighty, yo, what's going on, everybody? It's your boy, Mr. DDG94 here, back with another reaction video. Today, we're going to react to Ice Cube's albums ranked worst to best. Shout out to Culturalist Theory. They make new episodes every Tuesday. Go subscribe to them. I have no partnership or nothing into it with them. I just love their content, bro. I love channels that do things like this. This is dope. This is a dope concept. I love this channel, but the problem is they don't have enough subscribers. They should have 100,000 subscribers right now. They should at least be at silver status right now. That's all I'm saying. But let's help them out, man. Go over there to go subscribe to them, man. Tell everybody about them, man. They dope, man. I love what they do, bro. Shout out to Culturalist Theory. I gotta say your name like that because I'm culturalist. Because I'll fuck around and say culturalistic theory, but culturalist theory. Go subscribe to them. Let's check this out, man. Ice Cube albums ranked worst to best. Ice Cube got a lot of his category, but I'm gonna definitely say it's between Death Certificate. It's definitely between Death Certificate and Lethal Weapon. Lethal Injection, I should say. It's between those two, in my personal opinion. In my personal opinion, it's between them two. I think Laugh Now, Cry Later. I think that's I forget the name of. I forget the name of the album he dropped in 2006, bro. But the album he dropped in 2006, that's definitely should be in there. That should be the top three right there. That should definitely be the top three right there. But most definitely, Death Certificate should be the creme de la creme. Lethal Injection should definitely be there. Those two are really up for debate. Really, Lethal Injection and Death Certificate. That's some of Ice Cube's best work. But to be honest with you, Ice Cube has never really had a bad album. He's never had a bad album. It's just some albums hit more than others. Like Lethal Injection and Death Certificate, they just had bangers. That's really what it was. They just had bangers, bro. Timeless bangers. You know, we talking about today was a good day. How you know how we do it, and bro, it's Steady Mobbing. It's so many fucking songs off both them albums. But without further ado, let's get into it.
CJ Williams for Culturalist Theory, and today we got a good one. Ice Cube has to be one of the most underappreciated figures in entertainment story history. Putting in work as the lead writer and MC for NWA, as well as building one of the most solid solo discographies the game has ever seen. Cube has been on both sides of the camera while also holding the titles of entrepreneur and executive producer. Today we're breaking down Cube's catalog and giving flowers to one of the game's greatest. But before that, we're going to need you to drop a like, subscribe to the channel, and start a dialogue down in the comments. Let's get to it. Number 10, I Am the West. 3 Stacks said it best about the origin of the word hip-hop. First, you got to be hip, and the older you get, the further you get away from that. Well, Cube's 9th studio album sounds 15 years removed from its hipness. By refusing to update his sound, I Am the West sees O'Shea unable to divorce his flow and style that he cultivated in the early 90s. One notable moment came via a shot of sorts at Lil Wayne when Cube spits, "Niggas round the road that think they wanna bang, don't get your ass caught up like Lil Wayne." The line stemming from an alleged incident between G-Unit's 40 Glock, a Crip, and the Cash Money millionaire with blood affiliations. It's a long story. Look it up on YouTube if you want to know the specifics. He also takes time to show love to his wife of 20 years on Nothing Like LA, and finds himself on some vintage, bass-heavy 2000 Southern production with All Day Every Day. But the album just falls flat. No real tracks to grab the listener. While he is grandfathered in the OG status, even making room for his son to spit on 2 tracks, that same title serves almost as a barrier between him and younger
his
artists.
albums are solid, just nothing to grab on.
Volume 1, The War Disc. After 4 stellar releases, Cube sounded out of his element following a 5-year break. The first installment in the War and Peace disc lacks both the militant messaging and nuanced sounds found on earlier projects. With the exception of a couple of Mac 10 songs, the album is void of any big name features. Standouts include Ghetto Vet, which was also featured on the I Got the Hookup soundtrack, and The Curse of Money with bars from the aforementioned Mac 10. The album might be certified platinum, but we can't be sure that the product satisfied the needs of the customers. This, coupled with a noticeable lack of subject material, made the album a lethargic entry in Cube's catalog. It's a perfect example of how record sales shouldn't dictate to hip-hop fans what is hot and what's not. Number 8, Raw Footage. Cube's 8th studio joint sees the 39-year-old rapper taking aim at the political state of the country while reminding listeners who started gangsta rap. With features from Young Jeezy, Musiq Soulchild, and The Game, Raw Footage has no shortage of star power. The mixture of West Coast influence and bass-heavy Southern production, however, leaves Cube in no man's land, suffering from an identity crisis. Selling 70,000 in its first week, Raw Footage would debut at number 5 on the Billboard 200, becoming Cube's 7th top 10 album. Some standout tracks include the lead single Gangsta Rap Made Me Do It, Stand Tall, and It Takes a Nation, paying homage to Public Enemy and The Voice of Authority. Had Cube kept the heavy bass to a few tracks rather than the majority of the project, we think the album would have made it higher on the list. Number 7, Everything's Corrupt. Cube's most recent project dropped almost a decade after his last release. Everything's Corrupt is the most direct callback to the political demands and revolutionary remarks found on his earlier 90s work. The project tries to navigate the same unfriendly skies thematically as Predator, but in this case, Cube fails to land the plane. Releasing 4 years after Mike Brown, but 2 years before George Floyd, it's a bit like getting yesterday's mail. Unfortunately, using the Predator formula didn't translate to sales either. Moving only 14,000 units in its first week, the album marks Cube's lowest debut to date. Now, despite the commercial falloff, Everything's Corrupt is one of Cube's most critically acclaimed projects. Songs that caught our ear include Arrest the President, That New Funkadelic, and Can You Dig It? The album definitely has pockets of inconsistency, like On Them Pills, One for the Money, and Still in the Kitchen. Despite those lows, it's clear Cube is hungrier and more polished than he's been in nearly 2 decades. Number 6, War and Peace, Volume 2, The Peace Disc. The second part from the 2-album project was Ice Cube's last in a partnership with Priority Records. We get to hear Cube, Dre, and Ren reunite on the intro track Hello, O'Shea's reflective and thankful side on the laid-back 24 More Hours, and Cube's delivering one of his most focused performances, dropping gems about predatory industry practices with record company Pimpin'. Pimp Romeo and Can You Bounce don't mesh well with the rest of the track list, but it's still one of Cube's most solid offerings to date. The star of this album being the banger You Can Do It, which was a hit not only in the US but in the UK
you can do
as well,
it, put your back into
the popular Friday
I can do it, put your ass into it.
Cube's second hiatus, with fans waiting 6 years for his next music project. Meanwhile, he had a mean movie streak, starring in or producing a dozen movies during that time. Before we get to the top 5 albums from the gangsta rap pioneer, Cube has a number of fire soundtracks. But let's put the debate to bed today. Which movie soundtrack involving Cube was the dopest? Boys in the
First
Hood,
Friday.
The
First
Players
Friday.
Club, or something else?
First Friday. First Friday. It ain't even up for fucking debate. The First Friday. The First Friday. If you want to say Players Club, that's cool too. Players Club, that did have a solid soundtrack. But First Friday, the first one. Yep.
Let us know. And yes, that top 10 soundtracks list will be coming. Number 5, Lethal Injection.
Oh, wow.
Release from the Big Three mogul is smooth and cohesive as a whole, yet divisive and contentious at its roots. Fans are undecided about whether this is a sleeper or an album that needs to be put to bed. Using more bass and synthesizers than previous projects, Cube focuses on making music you can drop your top and ride to. It was commercially more successful than Predator, selling 25,000 more units.
Well, maybe that's the album. Maybe Predator was the album. I'm not, bro. I get these albums so fucking confused because Death Certificate was its own title, but Lethal Injection and fucking Predator, they use the same like title. They use the same like cover structure. So maybe Predator is the one I'm thinking about. I don't know. Damn. I should have looked these up before I did this video, but I don't know. Let me see. What's on the track.
Criticism for the shift in subject matter. Slappers like Really Though, Ghetto Bird, and You Know How We Do It embody Cube's mind.
No, this was the album. Bro. What?
Mindset and music leading up to his pivotal 4th release, getting major contributions from producers QD3, Madness for Real, and Sir Jinx, among others. Lethal Injection sees Cube working with the most balanced and favorable production of his career.
This is in the top 2.
Another plaque on his wall, but Hollywood came calling and Cube picked up, not dropping an album for the next 5 years. Number 4, America's Most Wanted. Cube's debut album sees him embracing the role of villain following his departure.
Lethal Injection is the top 2 album.
His social and political commentary delivered with wit, unapologetic, unapologetically made him an outspoken voice of injustice. The album charted, surprisingly, with no lead single or music video. Receiving widespread critical and commercial success, not only did the album go platinum in just 4 months, but it is still hailed as one of the best records to come out in the 90s. Starting off strong with The Nigga You Love to Hate and America's Most Wanted, Cube floats over Bomb Squad production with infectious energy and flows to match. Hey, funny story. David Faustino, known as Bud Bundy from Married with Children, tried to introduce Cube to late-night talk show host Arsenio Hall. Hall didn't know who Cube was and was more or less playing him to the left during their awkward encounter. Cube would then take shots on Arsenio and other so-called sellouts, hilariously referring to them as Oreo cookies. This project sees Cube heavily borrowing from Public Enemy's formula used on tapes like It Takes a Nation and Fear of a Black Planet. Cube even features Chuck D and Flavor Flav on back-to-back tracks. Even with this influence, he clearly establishes his own identity, mixing East Coast sounds and styles with West Coast culture. The legendary album is one half NWA and one half Ice Cube, being both revolutionary and aggressive. Other tracks to check for would be Who's the Mac, It's a Man's World, and Rolling with the Lynch Mob. It's almost top 3 time, ladies and gentlemen, but first I got one last question for you. Cube's Hollywood resume is damn near as strong as his music catalog. We all love the classics like Friday and Boys in the Hood, but what's Cube's sleeper movie? One that doesn't get enough recognition in your eyes.
That's a good question. That's a good question. For damn sure, it's not The Players Club. The Players Club is in that top realm. But a sleeper movie, a sleeper movie with Ice Cube. I was gonna say 21 Jump Street, but that sounds so stupid. We all know 21 Jump Street is a fucking classic. 21 and 22 Jump Street. But damn, that's a good question. A sleeper movie that got slept on. The movie where he got I forget the name of the movie, but if you know, you know. Let me know the name of it in the comment section. But it was the one where he got pulled over and framed. It's the one where he got pulled over and framed and got sent to jail by the dirty cops. They tried to say he had a gun and some weed on him, and they beat him and threw him in jail. That one. It was that one. That's a sleeper movie because that was a good one too. But y'all let me know in the comment section below. Which one was it for y'all? Let me know.
And it doesn't have to be one he directed. It can just be one he acted in. If you ask us, low key, Lottery Ticket was a straight ass little movie. It doesn't get.
That's not a sleeper movie, my guy. That's a hood classic, bro. What is you talking about, sir? That's a hood classic. I just gave y'all one. The one, I forget the name. It was the glass window, glass door, some glass pen. I forget the name of that fucking movie. Oh, I should look. No, I ain't gonna look it up. But y'all let me know in the comment section below what that movie was. It's a movie with Ice Cube. The dirty cops pull up on him at a gas station. They lied and said he was in possession of a weapon and marijuana and all this shit. And he was threatening them, and they had no reason for arresting him. They just arrested him for no reason and threw him in jail. They framed him, they threw him in jail, and then the black cop, he came to his conscience and was like, you know what? I can't do this. I can't put an innocent man in jail, especially an innocent black man that wasn't doing nothing that night. Like, bro, nah. It is what it is, though. I forget the name of the movie, bro, but that was a really good movie.
Get the respect it deserves. But leave a comment, let us know what you're
Nigga, that's a hood classic, bro. A lot of you Ticket is a hood classic.
Predator, Cube's third studio album and the only one to reach #1 on Billboard, had strong contributions from DJ Pooh, Sir Jinx, and Cypress Hill's mastermind DJ Muggs, and even Cube himself behind the boards. The Predator manages to move Cube's vision to a more accessible
it was the Predator. Maybe I did get them flip-flopped. I think I got them flip-flop. Because if this is the one that I had today, is a good day. Ooh, I did. Bro, if this is the one that got fucking today's a good day and check yourself or you wreck yourself, then this is the one right here. I apologize, bro.
We had love and respect for his work with NWA.
But this is definitely a top 2, not a top 3. I hope he ain't trying to put the 2006 one in the top 2. That's a top 3.
Tear this motherfucker up. And Who Got the Camera, released in the shadow of the LA riots due to the Rodney King beating and trial. Led by It Was a Good Day and Check Yourself, which will become signature singles in Cube's catalog. He was able to reach new commercial heights while still maintaining his stance against police brutality, corrupt governments, and gang culture in 90s LA. Cube laid the groundwork for a socially conscious album with a contemporary West Coast sound. Shout out to the videos as well. Did you peep that Check Yourself picks up right where It Was a Good Day left off? The Predator is entertaining from the first to the last track with minimum skips. And 30 years later, it still stands as one of the most foundational albums in the framework that is West Coast hip-hop. Number 2, Death Certificate.
What? How is this number 2? This is his best body of fucking work. This is the one with the NWA disc. This is where No Vaseline is on. How is this number 2? This has No Vaseline on it. How do you put this at number 2? How? So that means you put the 2006 album at number 1, really? Don't get me wrong. The 2006 album was a good album, but it's not fucking with Death Certificate or The Predator, bro. It's not fucking with them 2 albums, bro. Them 2 albums got too many bangers on it, bro. Even the 3rd album got bangers on it too, but it's just not touching these 2, bro. Nah, bro.
Pick up on the sound on his debut. O'Shea irons out the wrinkles, swapping out rough and choppy East Coast samples with the soul samples fueling the G-Funk boom of the early 90s. Nobody was safe on this record either. The wrong nigga to fuck with sets the momentum, unapologetic in his oppression to white America. Colorblind sees Cube maneuvering the streets of LA while advocating for unity in the name of collective strength. Black Korea is an intense response to the shooting death of 15-year-old Natasha Harlins by a Korean store clerk in 1991. It's easy to see how mounting race issues quickly turn into the LA riots the following year. While No Vaseline sees him taking aim at his former group and manager with no remorse, pretty much deading any chance of a reconciliation with NWA or Ruthless Records. Add to that True to the Game, Us, Steady Mobbin', the album has no shortage of standout tracks. Death Certificate received as much praise as it did controversy. Structured as a conceptual double album, both the life and death sides emphasize Cube's innovative nature and progressive artistry. Cube's sophomore album is one of the best follow-ups and a genre-defining work. We know a lot of you will have this as your number 1, but hear us out. Number 1, Laugh Now, Cry Later, and here's why. Cube.
Hey, Laugh Now, Cry Later is a top 3 Cube album. It's top 3 in his catalog. It's top 3. It's top 3. But it is not fucking with Death Certificate or The Predator, bro. It's not fucking with them 2, bro. It's not. But this is your opinion. You are entitled to your own opinion, sir. But in my personal opinion, this gets switched to number 3. Okay, I cannot put these 2 ahead of. I can't put those 2 ahead. I can't put this one ahead of those 2. Those 2 are battling it out for the top spot. This one is definitely number 3. This one is definitely number 3. This was a really good album.
7th studio album.
But number 1,
G-Funk's popularity had faded significantly and the West was
can't do it. Not gonna be able to do it.
6 years padding out his acting resume with Friday sequels, The Barbershops, and Are We There Yet? It's easy to see how Cube's first independent release would have slipped through the cracks of even Day One fans. The project is balanced, not too conscious like Death Certificate, and not too commercial like Lethal Injection. The production on the album is diverse, not falling back on previous collaborators The Bomb Squad or Sir Jinx for tracks. Scott Storch, Swiss Beats, Lay Law, Little John, and DJ Green Lantern are all different producers with long rap sheets, bangers in their back pockets, and they brought them to this project. Unlike his later works, Laugh Now doesn't sound like Get Off My Lawn rap or an unwarranted ego trip. The West Coast legend is witty and thoughtful on tracks like The Nigga Trap, While We Thugs, A History of Violence, and Stop Snitching. On the other hand, he is still capable of creating the vicious bangers like Smoke Some Weed, Go to Church, and Chrome and Paint. He shows the ability to shake the industry full of young MCs on child support and humbly recalls the early 80s on growing up, paying homage to his former partners in rhyme. Laugh Now, Cry Later is a work of a mature, not too old, not too young Ice Cube who learned a lot of life lessons on this bumpy road to success. We see a young veteran who earned his stripes and didn't get stuck in his old ways. If you love West Coast hip hop, make sure you check out our list of the Game's albums ranked here. Don't forget to subscribe and hit that like button.
But hey, man, I can't. Hey, my own personal opinion. You gotta switch number 2 and number 3 and number 2, and then you gotta flip them with number 1, bro, to make this work, bro. I cannot put Laugh Now, Cry Later above Predator and Death Certificate. You cannot do that. But anyways, though, let me know what y'all think down below in the comment section. How would you rank this? And please let me know what the fuck that movie was that I'm thinking about, because I can't get my name on it, bro. I'm finna go look it up. Matter of fact, hold on. Let's see here. Ice Cube movies. Let's look this up real quick. Thicker Than Water. Ooh, they got Thicker Than Water on here. Oh, they got the full movie. I'm finna watch this shit. But nah. Shit. No, this ain't it. Search with Google. Okay, so it's going by release date. Okay. Let's go down the list. There you go. The Glass Shield. That's what I was thinking about. The Glass Shield. The Glass Shield. That's the one I was thinking about. The Glass Shield. That was a really good movie. That was a really good one. That's what I was thinking about. But anyways, though, we're just gonna leave it right there for right now. I will see you on the next video. Till then, peace out. It is 4 o'clock in the morning. I need to be. I ain't gotta go to work till 6, so I'm good. I ain't even know why I'm tripping.